Joining me now is Shadow Cabinet Secretary Andrew Wallace, who's at the food and agriculture markets on the Sunshine Coast. Good to see you, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining me. Firstly, what do you make of the Prime Minister's latest statement?
Well, Danica, thanks for having me on. Look, it fundamentally misplaces the fact that Hamas started this war in the first instance, and Hamas are refusing to lay down their weapons. Now, you know, both the United States and Israel this morning have walked away from the deal that they had put on the table because in the United States terms, Hamas are not operating in good faith. They do not want a ceasefire in the same way that Hamas don't want to see a two-state solution. They've consistently, for decades, stood against a two-state solution, and yet the rest of the world seems to be ramming it down their throats. They don't want it, and nor do they want a ceasefire. So I think this latest statement by the Prime Minister is misplaced because it fails to recognise that Hamas is the problem. Hamas are the ones that killed 1,200 innocent Israelis. They took 250 hostages, 50 of whom are still in captivity. And they seem to be unwilling to hand them over until their demands are met. Now, as far as what is going on in Gaza at the moment, it is heartbreaking. Anybody with any kind of humanity would feel a great sense of sorrow and loss when we see what's going on. But what we don't see from the mainstream media is talking about how Hamas are keeping the humanitarian supplies from Palestinian civilians. They are stealing the humanitarian supplies that are being provided, and they are either keeping it for themselves or selling it to Palestinians at exorbitant prices.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you don't hear about. And you're right, Hamas is the problem, as Hamas has been the issue from day dot. Spot on. I want to ask you about energy. Labor has told mining magnate Andrew Forrest it wants taxpayers' money back after Fortescue pulled the pin on two of its green hydrogen projects. One was in Gladstone in Queensland, the other in the US state of Arizona. Andrew, you've got to wonder what sort of a deal Labor has entered into here. You've got failed projects mounting up across the country, but billions of taxpayer dollars are being spent on this with no return, and now we're begging for a refund.
Well, it really beggars belief, doesn't it? I mean, the country and industries seem to be walking away from this green hydrogen dream. They all seem to be doing it. And now finally the Labor Party are saying, well, give us the money back. I hope and pray that we do get this money back, because at the moment it's a windfall to Twiggy Forrest, not like he's short of a quid. But Australians can't continue to have our taxpayers used on what is a folly. We should get serious about continuing to invest in these pipe dreams of Chris Bowen that are absolutely bearing zero fruit. Enough's enough.
No, I completely agree. Andrew Wallace, enjoy the fruit and veg market. It looks good out there. Keep warm, and you're a great advocate for your community as always.
It's cool.
It's cool. I bet it is.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Andrew. See you next time.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.